second time. Let's be honest, we didn't fucking get it right the first time.
First one's secret. It'll never be heard.
Never be heard. Fuck it. I did it again. I'm calling myself out again. I was like, let me try and keep it clean for as long as I can. I'm not a clean person, apparently.
You want to really express yourself. It'll be a staple of the show.
Welcome to Sit and Spin. This is a place where you can express yourself. This is Sit and Spin. This is the first episode. I'm Goggins.
Dany.
All right. I came up with the idea at a concert and was texting you about it and was like, hey, man, literally everyone's got a podcast. So I'm part of everyone. You're part of everyone. We're part of everyone. We got a podcast now. Episode 1. Let's do it. So
what better time?
Yeah.
Then
I was texting at a concert. That's probably
May
a terrible
3rd.
way to say that I'm a music enthusiast.
Just starting with the quarantine and things like that.
Yeah. We're all doing nothing. We're all sitting inside, so this is a creative outlet, so
perfect.
If you don't like it, you can leave. But hey, hang out if you want to.
Hopefully we don't get lost in a sea of like new Corona podcasts.
Oh, it is. Everyone's got one. They're all attainable. You could do it on your phone.
You could say this. It's been years in the making, though.
It's here. We're here. We've been like, we should do this. We're doing it. All right. Anyway, so this is Sit and Spin. We're here, episode 1. We're here to
the mission statement.
What's the mission statement? What are we here to do for the people? We're here to appreciate music, specifically vinyl records, music on records.
Okay.
We can tangent from there, but that's going to be the corner of the episode for sure. Let me
something that I don't have much experience with, although I have a record player at home.
Sure.
Because I'm a fan of music as well and things like that, but this is a great opportunity to learn more about it.
Yeah, I know. I know some. I don't know a lot.
I would say you're pretty
immediately
knowledgeable.
Me saying I know any, there's going to be anyone looking at this is going to be like, I know more than this guy. You're right. You're absolutely right. You know more than this guy.
Well, hopefully they won't judge us for it.
I hope they do.
It's a passionate thing.
No, I'm just kidding. Don't judge me. No,
but really, it's cool.
It's fun. So we're gonna dig into this record. You'll get the idea as the show evolves. We'll bring it into some other stuff, but it's do whatever you want. Go on a tangent. It's free space. But what we're talking about here today. Sorry to hit the mic here.
Let's flash it for the camera.
Oh, so
the battle begun.
And the battle begun. This is by RX Bandits.
And the battle begun.
And the battle begun.
If you're searching for it,
it's over. Uh-oh, flagged. All right. Thought I might have a little more information. There we go.
What are we looking at on the inside there? The inside sleeves?
Looking at on the inside here. Oh, yeah, this is dead air. Oh, we got to fill up all the air. We're inexperienced. We're terrible at this, so if there's a little dead air, we'll try to fill it up for you. The inside, let's see. Very gatefold. 2 records. It's a translucent blue.
Did you say gatefold?
Oh, yeah, it's a gatefold.
What's that mean? It's already something I don't know that you know about. It's great.
Right. So they call it just like when you have a presentation of. I need to put different things in here already. This is gatefold. Wha-bam! For everybody listening and not watching, I'm doing wha-bam! I'm opening the gate.
It's kind
on
of
the fold
for people who can't see right now, like a bifold wallet.
Yeah. Not always. It doesn't always have to have 2 records in it, but a lot of times there are 2 records in a gatefold. It's because
the classic vinyl record style. Are there any other ways that like vinyls open up to 3s? Maybe it's a pop-up style, like a dinosaur book or something.
This is how creative the artist gets, or the publisher. Maybe it's not the artist. I don't know who gets creative call. Maybe we learn. Maybe on episode 2 we learn about.
What's the craziest vinyl sleeve you have?
Yeah, we'll go through them eventually in all these episodes. I don't care. Let's have fun with that. I can't honestly say the craziest one. There's a classic gatefold. Still, it would be the similar style, but everyone knows the Cheech and Chong record. Is it?
What's that?
Big Bamboo. That's something. It's in there. I don't know. I don't listen to it every day.
Does it have like a rolling papers in the gatefold that you take out?
Yeah, gatefold's open, and then there's a big old 12-inch rolling paper out there. So I mean,
Nice.
they can make it a novelty item for sure. But the practicality portion would be to stick multiple records in, obviously, or just to get a little more artwork out there for the people. I know there's a couple records in here that are just gatefold to have more pictures in. There's no other reason. But I like that presentation. I hate when they do multiple records in one sleeve. I'll probably bitch about that all the time, especially pulling them out for I got a bunch of rap albums that are like, here's 2 records, and it's like one sleeve, and you're like, man, you're really screwing this up, man. I'm trying to enjoy these things. Yeah. So, but no, this one, we're going to get off here. Bam, RX Bandits.
I took us off on a tangent. We probably lost about, the one listener we had.
The one listener, yeah. Now we're at
He's
0
gone. Now we're at 0
listeners. Yeah. Can we get the negative listeners, please? Can we get negative subscribers anywhere? Yeah. All right.
But yeah, not much besides the lyrics, it looks like.
Yeah, a lot of times they just have
big
pictures
thank
in
you
here,
section.
But I really enjoy that this one they have all the lyrics right out here. Sometimes that's just on like a inner lyric sheet that's in the first or second side there. Yeah,
Lost
huge thanks out. So let's go over a couple of things here. We got the RX Bandits credits and thank yous, man. This is a time capsule. This is a 2005 record. This was Sacramento, California, June 4th, 2005. Recorded at the Hangar Studios.
Hangar Studios.
Yeah, look that shit up.
I know nothing about it.
Everybody who's listening, we're gonna look up some things. Danny's gonna be on the 1s and 2s, and the 3s and the screens, and he's on everything, man. I took the lazy side on this one. Yeah. We'll figure it out. We're figuring it out. Everybody's figured it out. If you drag to the right, that's this screen. Like, Yeah.
What am I doing?
If you drag that to the right, that brings it onto the screen. There you go. Yeah, like, I know it's a little goofy. If you think it should go a different direction, that's fine too.
No, that works. Just gonna
Where are we at? Hangar Studios? Goodbye. Get off of this. What is this?
This is Hangar. No, good.
I don't think that's what this is. Is it? Is that what that was?
It was Hangar Studios in
right
New York or Hangar Studios.
Oh, that's like the new. I guess I'm looking for like a 2005. Yeah, type in 2005. Hangar Studios, Sacramento, California. Additional recordings at Black Canyon Ranch, the Treehouse, and Dead Man's, the Elizabethan. I don't know nothing about these. We're gonna learn about some of this shit. Yeah, Hangar Studios. There we go.
Is this a California one?
Yeah, smack that. Oh, that looks way better, right? That looks like where our.
That looks way more analog.
Yeah. Ooh, click on the
right up
click
there
where it says bands. The Hangover, Sacramento, California. A-room, B-room, remote. Oh yeah, multi-track recording studio, 12 years, blah blah blah.
Bands is which one?
1998. Oh, Bands is number 1 on here. Yeah, isn't that I gotta figure that out because that's a terrible setup.
How about this? I'll bring it back.
Yeah. And then oh, because I can see it from here and I can just say, yeah, that makes sense. We'll figure that out. Okay, yeah, just hit Bands. Yeah, number 2 there. Who else is recording at the Hangar besides RX Bandits? Are they 1995?
It looks like they're just advertising different ways to record.
What, when you press 2? Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, whatever. That's where it was recorded. If you know any more about it, you tell us about it. Yeah, I don't know anything about this. So what we do, sit and spin. We come in. It's really an excuse to get records, listen to records, talk to friends, hang out, bullshit, have conversation, learn about audio equipment, broadcasting stuff, figure it all out. Eventually I'd like to have some guests on here, whether it's just a guest to me, just friends or whatever.
Yeah, like me.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you could be a staple as far as coming back and all that kind of stuff if you want to keep coming back. Or come on, whatever. I don't care, whatever you want to do. But I mean, like, if it's a friend of mine that doesn't know anything about music, come on, let's listen to this record. Let's listen to this. Yeah. I don't have the record. I'll pick it up. We could appreciate it, It's really an excuse to do that, to be quite honest. It's just a buy record.
Here's a little fun fact.
A
couple of other
nuggets.
Bands, artists that are recorded.
There we go. That's what I was looking for.
Albums recorded there, but someone that I've heard a lot locally because of a radio station, people that like them, the Deftones, have recorded there.
Okay.
Right? I'm not sure if they're local. Are they
like
a Michigan
right sound.
Band? Ooh. They might be.
You're putting me on the spot.
But they've definitely recorded.
I don't know, because I don't know. They probably are. I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of independent names. Names that
I should know about that, but I don't.
Yeah, names that I wouldn't know. I wouldn't if I scrolled past RX Bandits on this list
hit me
10, 15 years ago.
Smack.
I just wouldn't know. For example, Gift of Goats.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
Golden Animals. Another Golden Shoulders.
Yeah, they like animals over
I don't know them. Probably good bands. Haints, not Saints.
Haints
with an H.
Haints, not Saints.
Haints. Harvester.
I feel like I've heard that one. That
just different.
Maybe that's just a common word.
The Hucklebucks, my new favorite band. Kanye West has recorded there. There you go.
At the Hangar?
We can get down with that.
Okay. Hey.
So yeah,
Kanye West, he's I feel like he's like
Seems-
if you look long enough, Kanye West is like
He's
sprinkled in
recording.
that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I mean that's cool. Don't get me wrong.
Maybe it lends credence to like that it's a vibe to record there, maybe something like that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if I had Kanye West come
Not
over,
that it's the
I'd
end
be
all
like,
be
whoa.
all.
I mean, this is the studio Kanye West was at.
Yeah, not that
he was just there for a radio interview,
Yeah.
but hey, he broadcasting.
There it is. RX Bandits on the list. Nice.
Okay.
That's cool.
Okay, so yeah,
That goes along with like they love the analog recording, just mics.
Yeah, this is definitely a band that I like listening to. They're all about like a message. We gotta have the message, and then they've got the sound to go with it. It's just gritty, you know. Man, so good. I don't know about you. So what we did, what we're gonna do for every episode is whoever comes over, whether it's you, whatever, come over, listen to the episode. We gotta, we don't have to, but there's an option. You can get a little imbibed if you want. We've had a couple drinks. We're enjoying ourselves.
Might have.
But
Allegedly.
yeah, allegedly. Hey, that's all illegal, baby. Yeah. So you put on the record, enjoy yourself, just kind of. So we're listening in here. We've got a project debut. I want to say this is a Carbon 2. That's what we're using as the turntable. Mm-hmm. That's feeding into our, I don't know, what is this called? The DJPre. I don't know. Feeding into this thing.
It does its job.
Yeah, that's right. The ArtCessories DJ PreAmp. That's feeding into our RodeCaster Pro, capturing our audio here. And we're running that up to our Marshall Stanmore. I want to say it's a Stanmore 2. Maybe it's a Stanmore. It's the first Stanmore they put out, so I don't know. Figure it out.
Good one. Per your
Sounds
recommendation, I purchased it as well.
Ooh, I mean, it sounds good to
Use it all
me.
the time.
Sounds great. So
And it has the vinyl look to it.
Yeah.
Great. Sitting
Yeah,
next
it
to
looks
vinyl.
like an amp. Aesthetically, it thing's
Yep.
slick. But that's what we've got for this cramped space. It may not be the best audio setup in the whole wide world, but
It's like cozy places,
yeah.
Our cozy places.
Sure, we're not listening to an audiophile setup, but I don't have the capability to do that. So this is what we got. So we enjoyed the record, enjoyed ourselves. Now we're going to talk about the record for however long we got some steam to talk about the record. And if you guys got feedback, anybody who listens, watches, wastes their time on this shit,
Yeah.
just let us know.
Listen
What's
to the
going
record
on?
before, then listen to this.
Yeah.
Listen to this first.
We
See
would
what we think
imagine.
about it. Not that we're pieces of shit. Like
We're
I've
pieces
heard
of
before.
shit. Absolutely. Yeah. Preface
This
that.
second.
We are.
So listen to it before and then listen to us. Listen to it after.
Yeah.
The point is, if it gets you interested,
Yeah. If you know about the album. If not, maybe you just like listening to this and you liked one thing that we did. And maybe you discover a new album. That would be cool.
maybe your
It's all
favorite
about
album comes up one
discovering
day.
appreciation. Yeah.
You can
baby.
argue with us about how
Yeah.
wrong we were.
Yeah. Which is very wrong.
We want to
Absolutely
hear
wrong.
that.
Yeah. We want to hear how wrong we are. Shit on us.
But for RX Bandits though, I'd like to
Eventually,
think
we're going to be like, pump the brakes. People are going to be just too
sensitive.
So sensitive.
No, but RX, the
This
concert.
is a time capsule. This is a time capsule album for us. That's why we started episode 1 on RX Bandits. I thought about, should I just kick this off as a solo episode and just listen to some shit and go off? But I was like, nah, I gotta have Dany on. Let's talk about an album that I would say this is probably our first band that we were like, whoa, do you like this? I like this.
Yeah.
Whoa. And,
Something that came
went down
through.
there.
Admittedly, my sister, right? Because
Okay.
when I was
Yeah, I have
younger,
no idea how you got
middle
into
school, things like that, it was all just hip hop, R&B,
Sure.
Usher.
I grew up heavily on hip-hop,
P
for
Diddy,
sure.
things like that.
Yeah.
Just a lot of different stuff. Like my first album was Eminem, like
Yeah.
Marshall Mathers LP. So it's like it was
course.
instantly rap
Yeah.
and stuff. So it's
I
like
think a lot of people in our region just get Marshall Mathers rap bang.
right.
Like
Well,
that's it, especially when we grew up. So like there's just nothing you could do about that. But I mean, yeah, so I mean if you're coming from that, you're definitely
so going to school and stuff,
You know,
my
you
sister would
cut.
like listen to this stuff, like
Yeah.
alternative,
there's
punk,
something
things
else
like that.
besides that. Yeah.
And then someone from Centerline, or the school we went to, he listened to this, she got into it,
Oh, yeah, I
and then
remember
she
that,
would play it when I drove to school with her because, hey, it's
Yeah.
not my choice. Listen to this or
Yeah.
use the bus. Like,
But it's good. Like
but
it's
it,
catchy.
yeah, it was really good. So it like expanded my love for all types of music, of course. But it's just heavier. I never thought I would get into it, but
Oh man, the
it's since
themes.
expanded very much so. But
Themes in this are just like there's no song that they make that's a waste. Like, you know what I mean?
I don't think so. No.
If you pick
On
if
top
you pick
of-
it apart, you're like, I'm gonna shit on pop music. I'm sure a whole bunch of times on this. I appreciate pop music, but I feel like it's the first target you can go to of like useless song. It's a sound.
Where
know?
the melody in the song is what makes the song. Is for the lyrics,
Sure.
not so much substance. Whereas with RX, every song is good melodically. Like, it sounds great. You want to listen to it, but the message is important in every single song, which
like
is
a two-hitter. Yeah.
what drew me in.
Do you have there's 13 tracks. Do you have a favorite?
Epoxy Lips by far.
That's you. 3
Told you when we were
track
listening.
10. You did actually. And then I was like, this song is still going. It's a long song.
One of the reasons why I like it so much.
It's got pits. It's got valleys. It's a good song. I'm not shitting on it.
No, of
Everything's
course.
negative.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm more curious. Do you have a favorite?
Yeah. It's this one that I commented on. It's got to be Only for the Night, dude. The fucking growl in that. Just he does it a bunch of other times in that one, but like he just cuts the music and it's like do and it's like silence, and then he just hits it. You just know you're into the last stretch of the song. Yeah. Fuck, that's a super great part.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think that's the song that my sister was introduced to them through. That was the first song that she listened to, and then she would play it, and then there was other ones because it's like it's But it is one of their, like, I think they made a music video for it. I think it was a single, things like that. I'm not sure.
Look that up there, young Dany. I do like Tainted Wheat. Man, that one is nuts. It's definitely one of those. I kind of liken these guys too. Not entirely, but like Pink Floyd, Like, people got the whole brick in the wall thing. Like, these guys are just like, I mean, granted, Pink Floyd did all kinds of other shit that wasn't just like anti-government, big guy this, big guy that. There's a lot of political statements on this album and every album that they do here. But, like, I feel like there's definitely, you can obviously point to their ska and reggae roots of, like, this is interesting. Oh, yeah, bring up that Wikipedia. I didn't even look at this. Like, that's part of this, too. So everybody who's listening to this is like, how did you not know that? You know how much shit I don't know? We're going to look up all kinds of dumb granular shit. We're going to look up the Wikipedia. We're going to see what we can track down.
That's called gatekeeping, and I don't like that.
Yeah, no gatekeeping.
Just because I've known them for a long time doesn't mean I know everything about them.
I don't know nothing.
I'm here to learn.
I forgot it as soon as I learned it. That's why we're recording this. So when I have Alzheimer's in 5 years, I'll have early onset, super duper young Alzheimer's. What do you got there? Anything interesting? Anything worth a damn on the Wikipedia page? Or it's like, this is a album that came out in 95 and some people saw it and some people didn't. Moving on.
It's just it's a short page, honestly. Just a track listing and then just how the origins of recording, which is interesting. Because what does it say there? Does it say, it says Hangar Studios and various other places? What is
the various other places? The one that caught my eye, let's see here.
Because
they've got Black Canyon Ranch, the Elizabethan, the Treehouse,
listed on here,
and Dead Man's. Elizabethan, I was like, whoa, that sounds official, but also sounds old. Like, who was hanging out there?
It says it looks like, so what? That's his Matt Embry studio, the lead singer. So it says the studio is used by many of our Bandits label mates, such as The Return.
Interesting that one just like kind of stuck out. That's mine.
But originally it was supposed to be released through Drive-Thru Records, and then they parted ways because of reasons unknown, yada yada. Stating more than one album on the label, just things. It looks like there were issues, but then they recorded. Hangar Studios not mentioned though.
Interesting. Well, that's what it says on their record. So
that's some really juicy.
Fuck you, Wikipedia.
That's right.
We got the source. Maybe
we can edit the page.
This is the source. This is what we're going with. Hope they don't print the false news on the record jacket here. Wikipedia could be altered, right? Oh, this has got a special thanks here to all who have stayed with us through our musical evolution, drove long hours to come see us play, who dance and sing with us at our shows, put us up, wrote to us, and lived life to our music. ... Thank you.
Very West Coast philosophy.
Oh,
hippie philosophy stuff,
Oh yeah. I mean, what? Just thanking people. Thanking people is a Western hippie.
The sentence is
everybody in the East goes, "Fuck you."
Putting up with our way of life and just
we went. I pulled out a ticket there before I was kicking around what episode we should do there. I snapped this to you.
Great condition. Mine is a little bit from the pocket, I think.
I just throw them all in a box and it just hasn't gotten too beat up. 2008 though. What's the actual date on that though?
Let's take a look. So we're looking at August 6th? August 8th.
August 8th. That's when we went, dude.
8-8.
That was we were young bucks back then.
At the Majestic.
No.
Majestic/Magic Stick.
No, those are two different things. Well, yeah. Does it say Majestic on there?
It's the Magic Stick.
I was like, it is the Magic.
Right.
Majestic's next door.
Detroit. That's just
yeah. And I was like, oh no.
Magic Stick is it still in? Isn't it?
Yeah. It's in existence. It's still above that bowling alley down in Detroit. I saw it
Garden
before this
Bowl?
again. Yeah.
Something like that.
Oh, I don't know what the bowling alley's name is. They got pizza there. I know more about the pizza than I know about the bowling. Like, let's
turn this into a pizza podcast.
Yeah, this is a pizza podcast now. Those are circular too. We spin those.
No, but a cool venue.
Oh my god, so great.
One of the first concerts I went to, like on my own, not just with family or things like that.
Yeah.
Small, low capacity.
One of those very first.
Yeah, and they were walking around. I remember that, of course. It's cool. One of them was walking around.
The band.
The band, sorry. Yeah, the RX Bandits were just hanging out. Like they were not like it's the hippie philosophy. I'll back it up. Okay, I got evidence.
You got this evidence.
They were walking around. They weren't like we're above you or better than you. The one dude was literally doing something he could have done backstage with his bandmates, like getting his trumpet ready, like the reed or something, whatever the tip is, and just talking to people. People walking up to them,
Magic Stick really leads to that atmosphere, though. Yeah, even today, the stage is only like foot and a half off the ground. You can step on it, dude. Yeah. I just
very.
Do you remember the bill that night?
Maps Analysis.
Oh yeah, I got that record in too.
And a huge band that's far surpassed
for all of them.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Portugal the Man.
Portugal the Man opened that night.
They do commercials now. Like
oh my god! And we're just like, wait,
super interesting.
Yeah. So what a while. I love seeing openers, especially when it turns out to be some crazy shit like that.
Yeah, it was cool.
So
very cool.
That was definitely, and you just hit me up like, you want to go to this band? I'm like, sure. That's the best part about going to just anything. Yeah. Like, I have no prejudice in music. It's just like, oh, sure. Someone's doing it better than me. Obviously, I have zero musical talent. I'm just a huge fan. I love music. I appreciate that somebody can do it. Yeah. Even those people who do the, I think this is weird. The synthesizer, the modular synthesizer.
Oh man,
that is insane to me. But it's so cool still. Like it may not be popular or what they're playing on top 100, but it's like, what is that? That really blows my mind.
Yeah.
So like, went along for a ride. We went to Magic Stick. I remember seeing them. I definitely felt like that night. If anybody has been to the Magic Stick in Detroit, if you've seen anybody. And, they made you want to dance and you were having a good time and jumping around. You feel like you're going to crash through the floor at the Magic Stick. It's the craziest feeling. But, I mean, hey, they must have the best support beams of any place at all, all of Detroit. Because people just jam up there, man. I saw a show there before quarantine times. This is a quarantine podcast, everybody. That's why we're professionals all of a sudden, basement professionals.
Hopefully, this is an escape from it.
This is an escape from the monotony of the day of quarantine life. We went there and I saw the fear in the people's eyes who had never been there before when they were like, "Oh man,
thinking that
this floor is gonna buckle. Yeah. We're gonna die. The people are raging too hard." It was a great show. They've stand the test. That was a decade ago that I went and saw them, and then I saw them. Within the last year, another band there, another show there. Same experience as far as the questionable safety factor.
Who was that?
I saw St. John there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That was wild.
Because I know you mentioned going to see Chance at Fox and that almost collapsing as well.
I felt like Chance put out such a vibe. I know we're tangenting already, but Chance the Rapper, when he was doing the Magnificent Color, we'll do a record on that. I'll talk way more in depth about that. But I sat in the balcony for that. And I thought we were going to rip the balcony off the side of the building and crush everyone under us. But hey, whoever puts in the supports for that, they're doing the right job, man. They support all of us, just dancing and going crazy up there. We had a good ass time. It was so much fun. Loved it.
Very loud show there.
So
acoustics, maybe probably not the greatest because it's smaller,
that's
but
right. Magic Stick, I do remember that because we were next to the speakers on the right hand side there. Oh my gosh!
If I wasn't already accustomed to that because my dad is a musician, I grew up in
the loud
these era of just sit and get your ears blown out by the same level speaker, but in a smaller. Actually, it was smaller at Magic Stick. At least it was bigger, like banquet hall style.
I was just saying banquet might be more, you know.
More there, it was the same,
like
just huge, double stacked.
Yeah.
Nowhere to go. Just maybe 10, 15 people right next to it.
Is cramped, but man.
But it sounded great. But like when Maps and Alice's were playing, it was just energy. Yeah. There was no.
It's definitely not the best sounding venue in Detroit, by all means. Absolutely not. Cool. But it's one of the higher energy, like, even if you're seeing not a super high energy band, just the compactness of it and everyone, it was great. It was awesome.
Could fit a lot of vibes. Just a one-person show, sitting on a stool, guitar or something like that.
It can do that, and it doesn't feel overwhelming, but then you can get, like, max capacity, and you're like, wow.
Yeah. And the come-up to it is sweet. You buy the ticket, you go upstairs, and the venue's there on the second floor.
Yeah, it's
all
on the second floor.
Black, painted black and dark. You can't really see, and then you just get up and you look right.
When we went as kids, when it was 2008, when we went, it was warm enough out in August. We could go out to, there was like a roof balcony where you could drink. I don't feel like St. John's was available to do that. I think it was too cold. They cut that off. Yeah. There was like kids at that show. RX Bandits didn't have. I felt like we were the youngest kids at RX Bandits. You know what I mean? When we were there, like there were definitely younger kids than that when I went to St. John's. So it was like an all age show. I was like, whoa. But yeah, RX Bandits. We can get back to talking about this a little bit. We're just tangenting. That's fine though. This place is just
totally fine.
Yeah. No prejudice of tangenting. There's no pre-recorded schedule. There's nothing. Maybe we build a show that like has a couple things on it and people want to know certain things about this, that, or the other, That
reminded me though. I mean it's all relative, but
it's all out there.
The patio at Magic Stick. Yeah. I went back there with some college friends and we were, I think it was either Maps and Alice's again or RX Bandits again. Something like that. And
you went another time? That's all. Oh, was that when I was living in the South?
Probably. I think so.
I was like, why'd I miss it?
And we went there to see them and no AC, right? So one of those places. Very, very down to salt of the earth. Yeah.
So no AC. Sweaty at the show.
It was like 100 degrees because everyone's dancing. It's really small.
Sure.
And we would go out there, and it wasn't any better. It was basically 90 outside and 100 inside. So we left. My friends made me leave an RX Bandits concert.
I don't know any time. I would have to really think when I left a show. It's just a bummer. Recently, I guess. Not that they were bad or anything. I just was at the end of the show, and I was like, I'm good. Injury reserve. I'd left that one.
That's right, yeah.
I just didn't, they weren't terrible. I was like, all right, I'm done. I had pizza, I had beer, I listened to music. I gotta work tomorrow. I'm not a rock star. I'm an old bitch. So yeah, but I usually try not to do that. I don't know why. I have been liking, not always, but if I can find a small enough venue and an artist that I really enjoy, if I can catch them and they'll sign my record, I feel like that's a real fun.
What's that?
What do you mean?
Oh, I thought you were leading something. I'm just
no. I'm saying that if I go to a show, you're saying how you left early.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm saying I try not to leave early. I'm even the person that'll stay longer. There's the tour bus. Yeah, I try to get
which you did.
I try not to be obnoxious. I really am like, hey, if like, I could definitely. I'm gonna put on blast. First episode, hot take. Put him on blast. Oh. Kevin Gates, hit it.
No, do it. I don't know which one it is.
Pick it. That's what we get. Hot drop. So we did his set. You're getting a rib shot.
You didn't load up the the saved ones.
Yeah,
Oops.
that's what we wanted.
We'll cut that out.
Kevin Gates. I didn't get it, but that's fine. I'm not mad. You put on a high energy show. Yeah. You want to walk to your bus. Just fuck everybody, right? I agree.
That's what
I totally agree. Yeah. Oh yeah. He didn't even know. No bad vibes, but he was just like left the venue, walked, kind of head down, and
right.
I said, hey Kevin,
yeah.
Hey Kevin, and he's just no.
So with J-Rock,
that was super cool.
Did you say the vinyl was in your car, left in your car, or did
no?
You have
I mean, like that venue, you're super close to the door, and there's almost no place.
Because I left, and his bus was like right out in front of the door.
Right out in front. So yeah, I just grabbed.
Did you
my
get the pick and the
sig?
car.
Yeah, I got a pick and a sig. That was super cool.
On Redemption's vinyl.
Yes, that is Redemption.
Nice.
Yeah, that's in there. Nice. We'll go over that in some of these later episodes. There is something about records. I mean, I think every category of collectors and anybody who's listening, I'm putting that shit in air quotes, collectors, because I don't collect them for, fragility and sake of keeping them pristine,
okay.
all that. No, man, wear your sneakers, spin your records, all that stuff, kids. You know, I don't care. Have fun with it.
Because every time, just some more vinyl knowledge.
Oh
from
yeah,
what I know,
yeah.
Every time you play it, right, the needle like creates a new little tiny microscopic groove.
Yeah, you're dragging it over this groove, and it's gonna like if
which doesn't make sense to me. Still, this is why I like record players.
If the needle's dull, it'll do it worse. You know, it's just kind of like so the sound waves obviously are like.
No, forget that. I just don't even know how they can make
it
happen
how it
to
works?
begin with. Yeah.
Maybe how are we an episode on just how records work?
I understand how. Yeah, like CDs.
We should.
But I don't understand how you're.
This is the earliest version of it. So like CDs came before or after this. You know what I'm saying? So I mean like
futuristic stuff.
And you're like, you should be able to get this. Those Edison motherfuckers were so smart back in the day.
It's cool. It's really cool.
Yeah. We're just so dumb in 2020.
It's me.
Let's get undumb. Well, hey, I'm a piece of shit too, man. 2 pieces of shit on a podcast. Hey, let's start a new podcast already. 2 pieces of shit on a podcast. This is Sid Spin. We got 2 pieces of shit going for
2020. That was in 2005.
This one, yeah, this is 2005.
Were we? I have a terrible memory. Were we fans of this at the time? Because that was freshman year. Freshman and sophomore
year. We were freshmen in high school. Is that what it was?
I'm dumb because we have the timestamp right. 2008.
Well, that's 08. I didn't become aware of them until around 2008 because I'm sure I was listening to them in your car. It
must have been that year.
Yeah, because I do remember specifically after seeing them live, 08 and 09, we bumped the shit out of Maps and Atlases. We were like, these guys are
very good,
crazy. Yeah, this is a new sound that we have not heard before. So I really like discovering them at the show, even though Portugal the Man really.
Yeah. But 08 though, just really right before graduating, the message of the album.
Man. Yeah, this really digs into their anti-establishment mentality. Yeah, we graduated that year, but I didn't learn that word. They're just anti the establishment for sure on every level. If there's an establishment that's established, we're against it. Yeah, so don't get me wrong. They're definitely poking holes in anybody's structure. I don't think anybody's off limits in all their stuff. You know, they'll take anything, whether it's. I wouldn't say it's like conspiracyist. It's you take a historical event and then they see who shakes out, you know, left, right, bam, here's a song about it. And here's where, you know, don't repeat history, but here's a song about it type of shit. Man. Yeah.
A lot of like powerful messages, we can get through it type thing. Maybe in the later album.
Sure, it's optimistic.
This one is more.
But it's like keep that third eye open. Yeah,
right, politically heavy.
Let nobody catch you slipping.
Yeah. No, like what you're being controlled by, basically, but you still have control over your own
thoughts
life and things like that. Yeah, which is a great message.
Yeah, I wouldn't say simulation, but you know what I mean. The simulation.
I believe in that.
People are going no, this is definitely one of those ones that spurs conversation. I've definitely caught flack listening to this before of like you know, anti-government, this sort of. I mean, hey, I think a lot of music hits that vein, so I don't think that they're too far off, you know, talking about stuff that they. I mean, this is the one I did not think, but I know one of their albums that is. I want to say the song is "In Rwanda's Glory," but that song
in all Rwanda's
glory. That song talks about some shit that happened. Is it the genocide and
the Rwanda genocide, right,
and
the hospital, and
that whole thing, man.
Killed like 6.
Yo, shout out Don Cheadle. Watch that movie.
That's right.
Sad, it's a real depiction.
XO Iron Man.
XO Iron Man, yeah. Don Cheadle cool show. Yeah. we do just shout out everyone to be here. No, that's we learned about that in school, you know, about that event in history.
Yeah.
And we're like, whoa, and then I hear this song, you know, Rwanda's going. I'm like, these guys going to the hippies out of California making this. That's
what I'm saying.
This movement song,
especially the earlier stuff.
They're just like, let's put a voice to it. Doesn't matter what it is. Not that they have no reason to talk about it, but you know, they have the validation of fellow humans talking about it. Like, hey, we don't like to see other humans getting slaughtered, even though we're not witness to it or anything like that. But let's talk about the wrong portions of it.
And I'd be interested to know. I'm sure they put themselves out there. Not as like activists, you know, in quotes, but like they do things. They'll back it up. Maybe they charity contests. I don't know, things like that, but just more meaningful things. I'm sure they do a lot that's just puts substance into what they say.
I agree. That's I don't feel like it's like let's talk about it, let's sing about it, let's not be about it. Yeah.
Like, we actually will
like
help as well.
Very shallow depictions of humans are nowadays of like, okay, let's talk about this thing and movement, and then you're just like, but you're doing that. Yeah, come on. Don't even talk about it if you're not going to be about it. Come on.
Armchair experts.
That's this whole podcast. Armchair experts about music that we don't know shit about.
Changing the title.
Yeah. We'll change it every episode.
Of titles.
You'll never be able to find us.
It's a great segue. Titles. Note the first song, Untitled.
This one?
Untitled.
Oh, yeah. That's the song that he interpolates on your favorite song, Epoxy Lips. What, the first one?
I think at the beginning
it doesn't even say. It just says side 1. And it just says 2. Like, there's no...
For the...
Yeah, like Arcs and the Battle Begins, because that's the name of the album.
Oh, okay.
So side 1, it just says 2.
Yeah, there is no.
Oh, that's interesting.
Right away, yeah.
Fun facts.
So it's untitled. Yeah, there's only four lines, and like I mentioned earlier, my favorite style, the row your boats, layered effect.
Oh yeah, that's the best way to describe it. I feel like people do know what that is. The row your boat.
The delayed start of the chorus. They just say the same thing.
Yeah.
And then they start separately, like each one of the band members say it, and then at the very end they all say it in unison. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah. It's a good way to start it. I don't know what it means. A lot of the things they say in here that are not apparent and things that I can't interpret are like, I don't know what this means. It's very cryptic.
Pull up some dork shit on Genius. That's the...
Genius can't even begin to comprehend what this means. Yeah.
This is so fucking deep.
It's simple. It's over. I must have seen her face before. I fell in love when I was born. Now they hide her with a whisper. Who are they talking about? What does it mean?
Maybe they're talking about this lady on the front here, this four-armed lady.
Crazy.
What's going on this cover, dude? There's like, all right, everybody's enlightened because there's 2 light bulbs. There's a halo.
That's what you think that means.
I don't know. Maybe they're plugged in. Maybe they're enlightened. I have no fucking clue, man. I don't know.
See, they've
everyone's
always
way deeper than me.
Maybe that's Mother Earth.
I don't know. Who's got 4 arms? Who's depicted with 4 arms in any religion?
Very Indian.
Who's that?
Instantly like a Hindu.
Sure, yeah, but I think that's more arms than that, though. I think whoever that is.
Shiva?
I would Google it before I say it, because I don't know who it is. And it would just be me assuming it's some name. The most educated I am on some of that is like whatever comedic.
Shiva, by the way, that's why I should Google before I look. Shiva, the 4-armed Mortal Kombat character.
Oh, that's what you're thinking
Goro's
of. Well, yeah, this is not. Yeah,
lover.
I could have said like Goro. We're talking Mortal Kombat. I know that. I know that more than I know religious stuff.
Yeah,
come on.
Wait, hold up. Shiva, India. Here we go.
Yeah.
Shiva. That's the real Shiva.
Okay.
Shiva's
that was just Google playing a trick on you with the spelling.
So there we go.
Gotcha.
Same exact thing.
How many arms?
Must be.
How many arms?
How many arms? We're looking at
4. I thought there was like
2.
6 or 8 on that thing. No.
We're looking at 4. We're looking at 4. Here we go.
Is that one 4?
There's 4.
I don't know. This is not a religious podcast.
No,
somebody should tell us though.
They have those types of like in the later album Mandala. A mandala is just like a, it's an eastern, far eastern type of.
I believe it.
Thing.
Yeah.
A mandala. It's not, so.
I'd have to dig more into it, to be honest. Yeah, like the layers of complexity that they try to depict in this album are like, yeah, I like the music and I like the trumpets and I like. It's definitely.
That's all I got.
It's so much deeper than what we're putting off on this. But man, this is definitely one of those albums that I can keep coming back to. It's great. It's like a road trip album. You're like, man, road trip. Yeah. By the time you get to the track 10. Or something, which is Epoxy Lips, one of the Danny's favorites. It's a whole thing, man. It's a whole thing.
I would listen to that going to work downtown Detroit.
Man, you'd be fired up against the man before you even
going down 75, no rules, as fast as I want, just listening to Epoxy Lips. I'm not joking. I know it's stupid, but like it's just fun.
I know you're not joking.
Just heavy shit.
It's the not drums on this.
Yeah, but just enough to make me press down on the gas fully and not worry about what's gonna happen. It's fun.
Safe, fast driving. You weren't on the lodge with it. You were on 75.
Plus I was. Plus
fast.
The message that goes along with it, going into work in an office, wanting to fight the man. It's right there for me.
We want to know, anybody who listens to this terrible episode and makes it this far in, who else is enjoying this album, enjoying this band?
The one person.
According to Wikipedia, they're still active. You said, of course, when I said that to you, but when's the last time they put something out? Like, I remember maybe an album.
They do. I'll refer to my phone for this one.
I mean, I'm sure they got an active, like, actual website. You know what I mean?
All on Apple. I think if we'll look it up and there'll be the latest release. Hopefully it's recent.
I know all the guys have got all their little side projects. Didn't one of them go into it like animal something?
The Sound of Fighting Animals is another project that Matt Embry does, the lead singer. Yeah. So after Mandala. So the way it goes roughly is. The ones that I'm a big fan of, at least. The first one they have as an album, like their debut, is halfway between here and there, which has some great songs on there. Don't know too much about it.
What album cover is like mostly white? It's like white, blue, and red. Maybe there's like an eyeball on it or something, but it's like mostly white.
I don't know. I got the
just
Hawaii.
Scroll. I'll call it out when I see it.
I think it might be a mix.
A little farther. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know what it is then.
Yeah.
What the hell am I thinking of? Because I even said that to you, and you were like, "Oh." I like the first one with like the girl with the ukulele or whatever that is.
Yeah, this one has
that album. What's that?
Like
one?
Gun in Your Hand, things like that.
Damn.
Older, they're finding their sound and things like that. Then the Resignation has a lot of political things, and then from like that's the one where it picks up for me. Like 06 is when And the Battle Begun came out, so they started touring. Right, we saw them in 08.
They started touring in 06?
No, I don't know how far or how long it took, I guess, for them to come to Detroit. But if they released it in 06, maybe gave it a few months, or maybe they started touring right away.
Okay.
You know, like, and then I'm sure we could find, like, the
Wikipedia said they started in 95, so I felt like
as a band, really.
Yeah,
See, that's
so we were slow to see them, but, like, you got to remember, 95 to, 2006, that's all. When did we see them? 08?
Oh, wait, yeah.
iPhone's out for a year. Nobody could fucking afford it anyway. Nobody wanted doo-doo-ass poop shit ATT. Nobody wanted that shit. So yeah, like, it's not like everybody was plugged in like you can think of nowadays. So like,
got more popular, for sure.
Yeah.
And then they did the And the Battle Begun, Mandala. And then these two, I didn't really listen to. I listened to this one a little bit. Gemini, Her Majesty. That was in 2014. And then the latest release is Those Damn Bandits in 2017, which I have not listened to. But it's got like a
I cannot say that I've kept
animated
up. Yeah.
Kanye Panda cover.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a little interesting.
Influenced.
And it's just labeled as
there is Kanye sprinkled
rock,
again.
interestingly enough. Not alternative or ska or anything like that, just rock. So.
Just rock, okay. What is this album labeled as on Apple Music? Does it come up as ska?
We have it's alternative. It's
alternative, okay. This is definitely reggae, definitely ska themes. I mean, there was songs.
The older stuff I was going to call it, like they have the Babylon.
Oh, yeah.
Babylon, don't make the rules. Like they
don't make the rules. What's some other shit I wrote down while I was listening to this? So what we're going to kind of do with whoever comes on and listens to whatever record, whether it's like the first time they're hearing the record, maybe it's something you're coming back to, like this has got to be our, 100th time hearing the record, But it's just like, let's talk about it, whatever it is, and let's keep the conversation for after you listen to the record type of thing. So we just kind of jot down shit while we're going here. Maybe I don't even remember what half of the... Oh, I did want to find this out.
Hit me.
Look up and see if anybody... What's the drug use? What's going on here? I want to know, are they into psychedelics? Is it a bunch of coke heads? Are they straight at... You know what I mean? Like,
I feel like this is going to be hard to... I feel like I have heard this...
Just type in like who would you say it was? Matt Barnes. Matt Embry.
There is a picture of him.
Fucking Matt Barnes.
Leaning against the wall. Who's Matt Barnes?
I don't know. I just fucking made that name up. You said Matt Embry. I just made up some fucking name. I don't know. Just type in like Matt Embry drugs. I don't know.
So Matt Embry, I know for a fact, drinks at least because there's a picture of him, like an artist picture of him holding a bottle of wine, which is very cool. Like just drink bottle out the wine. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
It's a California thing, probably.
Yo, for real.
I think I'm just jealous of not being in the West Coast. So if I keep,
you want to go to California? You want to take this to California? You want to take RodeCaster West? Take this.
We totally can. We already have a recording area for it. Super tangent. My sister she's going out there. She's moving out there. Yeah.
Oh, we'll have
she
to
got a place.
Talk about that shit off mic,
of all places.
Yeah.
we call it Roachville here.
Roachville.
She's out in Roseville, California.
Yeah, Roseville. That's
pretty cool. Just like it looks just
I'm
like
sure
a
Roseville
Warren
over there is different than Roseville.
Warren suburb, back in 2000, basically.
There's probably another Roseville in Michigan that's different than the Roseville we know. You know what I mean? Like, it actually. Stepford Wives looking ass Roseville. Pruned ass hedges Roseville.
Pleasantville. But no, we definitely go out there. Mobile recording out in California, great. But no, I mean.
Have you been? Have you been to California?
Yeah.
When'd you go?
Once with the family. Just Disney World, Disneyland.
Okay, so down in, what is that, San Jose? Where the fuck is that?
We did San Diego.
It's down. It's under LA, definitely. As far 100%. As.
San Diego, and then is Hollywood has.
Stupid ass.
Universal Studios is in.
It could be out there. I know there's one in Florida.
We did all that.
Yeah.
Shit. When I was like 14.
Yeah, see, I went to.
But going back alone.
North.
Of course, definitely.
I went to San Francisco. I went to Napa Valley. I went to Cupertino's. I did the other stuff. But man, it's a whole different world. Whole nother world out there. So
I thought there wouldn't be much out on them, but Noisy did an article on them, and it says
when was this? When's it published?
There's a banner rather up top that says the story is over 5 years old. July 25th, 2014. The title. The ska band turned prog rockers have come a long way from their cringe-worthy beginnings.
Whoa, we're getting cringe-worthy on the first episode? Why? Damn, Vice hit them with the cringe-worthy. I mean, they talk about a lot of things that I'm sure that, like... I mean, I'm speaking out of hand on this one, but, like, I'm sure if, like, you took a song and it was like, yeah, let me press you on that issue, it probably wouldn't be like that great of a conversation. You know what I mean? Because they dig into so many conversations.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what they're saying is like cringeworthy like that. But at the same time, like, hey man, if nobody's talking about it, who's to shit on them for talking about it? What's that attitude? Like, fuck off, Vice.
Interesting.
It said that they were trying too hard in high school. I don't know, man. What does that mean? Was 95, what were they, putting out music as like 18-year-olds in 95? How old
I guess
they?
It says, was it? It says, so he starts after the opinion, like the editorial in the beginning, like his opinion on it in the beginning. It's all an, I guess, op-ed or whatever you call it.
Put it in the trash. That's what this whole show is, put that in the trash.
We started, I guess he ends it and starts with, was it possible that the band had retained a soft spot for the music of its youth? So I don't know if he's trying to, but he's like saying that he was in the green room and Matt Embry said, can you do something about the music? It's killing me. And he's talking about
their own music? Matt's talking about their own shit? Oh, man.
Tunes that were killing Embry were made partially by bands he toured with not so long ago. But these days, he says it's not what he's into.
Well, I mean, everybody has developed taste. Like, I wouldn't say that I'm out here championing country music, but when I lived in the South, I listened to that more than, well, I wouldn't say more than anything else, but I mean more than I listen to like now or earlier in my life or any other time. So I mean, like, maybe he moved somewhere. Maybe he just moved on in his life and he just like, you know, like I don't listen to. I would say like I would when I was in high school and stuff like that. I would listen to a lot more stuff like this. Tons of ska, tons of alternative, tons of rock, tons of stuff like that. And you know, I listened to hip hop of the time, but I didn't dig too early. You know, there was a decade before my hip hop discovery that happened that I just didn't fucking care about. I was like, it was before me. I was just looking at all this new stuff.
And I think that might be the center of like this article is like saying from his perspective, it says, which he agreed with and said, you all different kinds of influences, and yet even through your ska roots have been something of a burden from your perspective, which is what the interviewer was asking him, and he said so maybe that's what like he thought, like looking back now, ska's like cringy or something, like the trumpets, because they dropped that now, and he's talking about this is around
ska's not as popular as it was, like definitely. No doubt.
So he says, you know,
still went and saw Real Big Fish recently.
Third wave ska and stuff has its merits, you know. So it's just it's interesting. It's interesting.
That is true. I have to look it up to be sure on how to speak confidently on it, but
he says
third wave ska and second wave. It's like fucking comic book dorks are like, oh, we got Bronze Age and Silver Age and Golden Age and third wave and fifth wave ska. It's like it's just all ska, man. Why are we putting it like that? You know.
Yeah.
I think as far as we should do it is 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2000. Like, that's it. That's all you need. Why are we doing all that? Yeah.
So it looks like too that the one that was released the latest, Those Damn Bandits, that was their first album, and he said I was 15, and he says that's brutal on commenting on it being released on iTunes. So he's not. I guess they're not. Yeah.
They liked listen how to that. What is that? Those Damn Bandits.
The latest release on iTunes, but their first release apparently, the first thing they recorded. Shit. And he says also, fortunately, their demos are not available. So he really.
Well, that doesn't mean they're not out there.
He's happy about his progression.
I'll poke around and see them. Maybe I'll share this with you, see if I can find them. Oh, that's so interesting.
Here we go. This hits right on, and not to take from other things, but the drug addiction, right?
We're that's what I was curious about. Just like not that he has to have drug addiction to make music, or anybody with art needs to be dabbling in drugs, but like some of the things you hear on this show, like they speak from experience. It seems.
And this is confirmed. Yeah, he said he's the type of person who's willing to try anything once. And there's been times where he has went overboard. But he said since he was really young, he was curious about drugs because so many of his favorite musicians like Charlie Parker and John Coltrane were overdosing and dying, things like that. So he was curious because he was into jazz as a teenager, which is another thing that I brought up about.
That's not funny, but like, okay, the way that's worded is I got interested because John Coltrane was overdosing. He
said so many of my favorite musicians. Parents.
Would that keep you away from it?
Sued by Noisy, but he said curious about drugs because so many of my favorite musicians were drug addicts, which is true.
That is true. Yeah,
a lot of my favorite musicians are drug addicts. Now in this time recording this now, Juice WRLD, Mac Miller, Nipsey Hussle. Well, not drugs, but things like that. So but now we don't even have to say like we don't even have to say like Janis Joplin or like whatever. Like we have current this year references to say, hey,
it's not like Elvis died on the toilet. It's like that's old fucking news, guys. Yeah, there's people who died yesterday. That's there's a lot of people who dabble in the drugs.
So then he goes on and says the times where he did go overboard were because he was taking taking too much and trying to create and be creative and make music from those times. So that's the essence of it. It's like, hey, I'm gonna take this
for creative, of course we had some drinks while we're listening, and this is our first podcast, first episode ever. So I mean, there's jitters, and this is all nervous to do and shit like that. But at the same time, like, I wouldn't say I'm having a drink now or anything like that because I need it to creatively figure something out. That's where the fucking crutch falls, man. It's like, you gotta get out of that.
And I think the thing about the themes and the drugs, so the drugs thing confirmed, right? And the thing about, is this about like a girl or is this about something else? Something that I don't have experience with, but it was about girls. So he's talking about one of the other times is when one of the ex-girlfriends of his bandmates, which is how are you hanging out with? Okay. How are you hanging out with an ex-girlfriend of your bandmate? Are you still hanging out? You're still friends? She's on the bus with you or whatever? I don't know. She gave him something, she said, for his anxiety. And it was like 100 milligrams of morphine instead, and he was spinning and puking all this stuff. So there you go. It's like the girl, like that's that like band thing of like you got girls following you and girls like taking drugs. Yeah, you guys are all doing drugs. So that it makes sense. It's like that lifestyle that.
Okay.
I don't know about.
No, there's no experience here from a groupie lifestyle. Not even a druggy lifestyle or nothing. Yeah, so it's all definitely like a view in. Again, we're pieces of shit on a podcast. This is the piece of shit podcast. We should stop saying it's the piece of shit podcast. People start looking for piece of shit podcast if we ever start putting this out. Sit and Spin with Dany and Goggins.
Coming at you live. 53 minutes in.
Oh my God, we're going to get an hour? Jesus.
Just kidding.
Well, no, what are we at?
No, we really are, but it's not a problem.
Wow. No, that's fine. I have no problem. This could be an hour. It could be 2 hours. It could be 3 hours. It could be...
We got laws. The first track is untitled, of course. Yeah. We have to If
you guys... Oh, well, I'm not going to go track by track.
No,
One thing I was curious about, the Lonely Scream. Some of the lyrics in that. On a lonely scream. So, like, now that we're in these pandemic times, we were already having this moral debate before this lock-in. Worldwide lock-in type stuff. Screen in your pocket, screen in your face, everything's a screen, everybody's going through a screen. And these guys were way in on it before it even became smartphones, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't definitely. They're not prophets. It wasn't hard to see, but at the same time, like to be writing like this, I feel like that's on a lonely screen that becomes more relevant all the time. Yeah. Like it's crazy. I was just reading some of the lyrics and was just like, oof. See if there's one here. It's like
the one about the third to last line. The one about the mother. That's the one that sticks out.
Mother, don't breastfeed your children with a plastic mouse. and a crystal screen.
And a plastic mouse is what it says there too, or mouth.
This says mouse like that.
Mouse. That's what this says here too. Which is
I think it's
what's a plastic mouse?
It's literally what you're using. Right there. Don't feed your children with a plastic mouse and a crystal screen. The LCD.
I wish we had the bomb drop.
Oh my! Hit it. Try it. All right. Do we have the program?
No, I don't think we have.
I was gonna say, just pick one. Let's see if it's in the drop.
This is a certified hood classic.
That's the noise.
Dude, that's what happened in your brain right now?
A plastic mouse.
Damn. Heavy.
First successful drop. I love it.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, that makes sense. Plastic mouse and a crystal screen. Mother, don't breastfeed your children. Is that trying to say, like, don't go to the internet for advice and things on how to raise your kids? Or is that saying, like, don't sit in front of a computer using Facebook while you're breastfeeding your children?
Well, Facebook wasn't out and doing its thing like that, but I mean, if you read with what goes with it, so like, mother, don't breastfeed your children with a plastic mouse and a crystal screen. Now there's
the news.
Yeah,
it's about the news.
Because under that it says now there's more white people talking about a war that's make believe.
How timeless could that be? How many?
I mean,
we're
currently
wars.
Still in a make believe. You know,
and
if
we
you
have a
listen to
new
everybody,
one.
yeah,
That's very local
another
to
one.
us.
Yeah,
I don't want to talk about that stuff.
No, let's not. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
But you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, come on, just type in make believe war and you'll be bombarded with all kinds of stuff about
it's non-political.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah.
As much as political as this album is, we'll keep it non-political.
Yeah, you know, there's nothing wrong about talking about.
I'll start creating my own albums.
Yeah,
with messages. Yeah, you know. And then Noisy can interview me, and I'll tell them that Bandits was
I'm cringeworthy. You're a cringeworthy.
Cringeworthy because I started with like trap.
Yeah.
Trap conscious rap, and then
trap conscious
switched to
rap.
I don't know.
I like that.
But no,
trap
it's cool.
Conscious.
It's cool. It's timeless.
This is a certified hood classic. That drop is so funny. Oh my gosh.
Doctor spins a word like.
What else did I write down here for conversation's sake? Maybe we wrap this up. Let's see here.
Don't give away the secrets.
I thought that was such an awesome, still relevant song, and it's just one of those things that we're feeding it to become more relevant all the time.
So the follows with the overall theme. This is like AP literature, just English class.
Rap it.
Just metaphors, similes, things.
Oh
like
yeah.
Just kidding. How deep can we go into that?
Deep.
No, but it really. Every On a Lonely Screen, the titles, Tainted Wheat, I'm not sure about that one, but you know, Epoxy Lips, like Epoxy Lips, like Epoxy, I didn't know what Epoxy was before, like whatever, high school, like shop,
right?
whatever, like it's like super strong, but like Epoxy Lips, like it's like the kiss of something that you can't let go of, like it's just so strong, like. Major, I'll stop. You just cut that out.
Yeah.
But
no, I cut nothing.
You know, to our unborn daughters, just looking at the back of it, crushing destroyer. It's just a lot of things that like.
Oh yeah, sorry. Here,
they're powerful. No, just seeing from here, and like it's just titles that are. You know, a mouthful of hollow threats. That's the one that I get upset about because I want it to be true, but the older I get, I'm more defeated by.
Let me read that one because you were saying that.
I like the message a lot,
smacking
but
the mic. We're recording, for anybody who's not watching the video, anybody who's just listening, tried to set up a comfy studio. So we've got big-ass bean bags. We're just flopping around. So if we hit the mic, it's because we're just a couple of fat pieces of shit. We're fat pieces of shit. That's the drop we need. You're a fat piece of shit. Let's find some deep reverb.
We need to get a deep fake of like Steve Harvey saying it or something.
This is deep fake of it. You're a fat piece of shit. What'd you say? The mouthful of
mouthful of hollow threats. I just figured it was a nice. I'll switch over to secrets as well too.
Oh yeah, this is so current. Yeah, this is like the whole Mr. Untouchable. You're pointing all your fingers through, putting guns in the hands of our children. Somebody who's out there making lives that
just
money.
A game. You don't even need to look at the lyrics.
You don't even. You know this way better than I. This is honestly why I picked the album for you to be on first because I knew you knew this way more than I did. I could appreciate this, but you understand.
Yeah, but it's like this is where I wish we were now with Mr. Untouchable. We have somebody like that now. We have multiple faces.
So many people that can be Mr. Untouchable. Yeah.
And the message is great. You're all it takes is a spark to burn it all down. Where's the spark? It's not here yet. The spark that's needed is just ironic because when you have good kindling, the tiniest spark.
Can be that spark.
Yeah, well, so far,
there's no
sadly,
the translation of
it's
music
becoming
to
a sad
reality.
podcast. But no, it's not happening.
Yeah. I mean, we're all living in these reality times, so if you get a little sad, it's understandable. But hey, we're not trying to be sad on this podcast. We're trying to have some
the
fun.
silver lining of it. How about this is
The silver lining.
Until the power of love can exceed the love of power. You called that one out. It's very
the
good.
power of love
Can
exceeds the love of power.
You know, so we'll get there one day.
It's so good. But I love that part of the song because of
people have a problem.
They
with
put a
that
great
lot.
audio break in there, and he isolates just down to his voice, and it's like, this is more powerful than the cacophony of shit behind it. That was all Mr. Untouchable, Mr. Elation, all of that kind of shit. I mean, the way that they present these songs is just so good.
And they go on to explain that, like, maybe this is for me, but, like, no matter how long it takes, there will be a change eventually and something will happen. But which is cool.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think like that. It may not be me, but there'll be change. But, what's the steps? I mean, being a good human, that's step one,
Yeah, because it's a great, like, it's very cheesy, like, whatever, I'm 14 and this is deep type stuff, but, like, the only thing left that's constant is change. It's true. Like, it could, maybe it's going to change for the worse for hundreds and hundreds of years, but at least it's still going to change, and it might be a good change for once. But until then, we have music to keep us going through. The other songs on there, some of them don't maybe have a message. The message is about girls and drugs or whatever, but, like, let's say, for example,
positive messages at the end of the day, like they might be about travesties or about bad things, but, like, the not that the theme is positive, it's that the message that they put always towards the end is, like, pushing for positivity.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Like,
but they even, like, pepper the album with, like, just songs that don't. They'll cut that out for a bit, like Apparition, Only for the Night, things like that. Just good songs. They have good rhythms. The ones that got us in the beginning, obviously. Are
for sure, they draw you in.
Right.
But then the ones that are even more serious, you're like, man, but that's still so good. It's not like it's just like beatbox, spoken word, and they lost all the trumpets and stuff like that, and you're like, well, this is different because they got more serious. Nah, it continues along with the stuff that you already are getting hooked in with your ears by. Recommend anybody listen to this album or another RX Bandits album. So great. Glad this was the first record we did here.
I love it. What do you overall? Where would you? Where does not even just a ranking? Like, how do you just feel about it? How do you feel about it? We listen to it. For me, listening to it is just a breeze. To
me, it's a time warp. It's definitely so much music.
That's like what it carries for you.
Yeah, so much music, and that's why I wanted to do this podcast, because I feel like with every piece of music, whether it's a whole record or whatever, people experience it in a different way, and that can be experiencing like for me, this puts me literally, what did we have? 8 classes at school. Skipping, well, no, just for a day. 6 classes a day.
Oh, yeah.
So you skip the 6th class when we'd go out and listen to music in the car and drive around the city. And, we're working, we're doing stuff for school allegedly. But, man, honestly, we're just jamming to music because this is a whole hour of free time to just hang out. A lot of music to me is a time capsule. This is one of those, puts you right back, right in high school.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do? Out of 10, you want to do it 0 out of 10? This isn't a rating show. But I'm gonna fucking slap a rating on everything just to be a dickhead.
Those are heavy. Ratings are heavy, but yeah, for sure. What would you?
8 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10. It's definitely higher than a 5 because it's more than average.
Of course.
Nothing's 10. Go fuck yourself. Maybe somebody hits me with a 10 on here, and then I eat these words. But nothing's gonna hit 10. It's not a 9. It's not popular. It's not. That doesn't. You
can't mark them for not being popular.
Well, I should say it's not popular as in like even popular opinion. Even you know what I mean? Like it could lose a whole point just based on like it's not popular radio play. But even if you like people who are like digging into this kind of stuff, they're like, oh, who's this? I never heard of them before. And you're like, I don't agree with these lyrics. Go fuck yourself. So you know what I mean? So it could be unpopular like that. So I feel like that it's a detracting point because it rubs people the wrong way. It's gritty. It's real message music type of stuff. Yeah. To me, that would be a good thing, but it just doesn't make that. It doesn't make a point, So that's why I'd say 8, 7.5. I think the music is excellent. I think it's 8. 8 on music. I agree with the message. Or a lot of the messages on here. I'm like, wow, this is. Whew. digging it. I like having conversations,
For a time, they are. I mean, I would say they still are probably my favorite band of musicians who get together and form a band. They are.
Yeah, and all their offshoot stuff, I didn't hate. It wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible. I wouldn't say I knew all of it by any means, but like it was definitely interesting. I like this. I like RX Bandits more than I like.
Definitely. My favorite project of theirs.
Whatever that shit was. And then there was another one, not the Animal Collective or something. I don't know. There was a couple bands that they like branched out, and I was like, well, it's not hitting me like this. He did solo stuff. Yeah.
This is great, man.
But I mean, I would give it the same. I would love to just give it a 10, just purely because it's favorite time, whatever, good time in my life. 08, all that good stuff.
Since this is a record show and we're trying to talk about records, go to Discogs. Use down. They're just like this Wikipedia reference, And I'm going to have you type in the catalog number here, SH000. This is the pressing we listen to.
Okay.
Yeah, click that. Go down to the notes section. See if there's anything funky on these notes. Nothing.
So the 10th anniversary pressing on transparent light blue vinyl. That's what you got.
That's what I'm listening to here. Okay,
very
10th
nice.
anniversary.
How about this? What's this term, right? A gatefold?
Isn't that what I said?
Gatefold.
Isn't that how we started this?
Okay, yeah, gatefold.
Gatefold 2XLP with lyrics on inside of gatefold.
Yep.
1,500 each color variant. 1,000 black.
Okay, well I got the.
Is that grams? What's that? What's 1,500, 1,000 black in color?
Oh, how many they put out? They put out 1,500 like this, and then they put out 1,000 black ones. So traditionally, most.
So yeah, they got a lot of links to the recordings and things like that. Which is cool.
Yeah, that's such a great site for reference. I wouldn't take it as gospel for anything, but it's a great database for. I don't know nothing about nothing. What is the there's 50 versions of this album or that album. That's a great place where.
Yeah, released in 2016, so nice.
Oh, this was
good to know that they're still So that's cool that the band means a lot to them and they're still running.
Well, it says Sergeant House.
Sergeant House is who they were with from the start. Yeah, they've always recorded through them.
Okay.
So,
okay.
That's their label or whoever puts out there.
Well, that's what they say on here. So, under Sergeant exclusive House, license to Sergeant House for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, because it doesn't really have. Sadly, on a lot of the actual products and a lot of the things, they don't have like the pressing dates and stuff like that. So that's where you have to use stuff like Discogs to go through it. So hopefully that's some of the stuff we pick up during the show. We learn some dorky shit about it.
As far as the music, listen to it.
Listen to it yourself.
Come back, listen to this. Maybe not too much on the music talked about, but I mean.
Maybe I don't want to narrow in correctly on what we're supposed to talk about, but hey, we just bullshitted for an hour. That's all I want to do.
I don't want to air out a critic vibe and pretend that I know what I'm talking about and things.
We're not pretentious. We're
giving
pieces
a little
of shit.
bit, right? Exactly.
We're pieces of shit.
I'm stopping. I'm just kidding. But no, it's cool to just put it out there. That's how I feel about this. We're gonna move on with the next one. We'll get better, hopefully. We'll know what to say more.
The second episode is gonna be. We'll wrap this one up.
What are you thinking? Yeah, could we do? Are we doing sneak peeks, things like that, or are we just? We're just gonna. It's gonna end, and then when you hit play on the next one, it's gonna be us talking about the next record.
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Yeah, well, we'll poke through here. Maybe something catches your eye. I want to have my dad on the show for sure, because a lot of these records I got from him. And he's gonna definitely tell me a whole bunch of shit that I don't even know.
We can have a dad podcast. Bring our dads.
I got a fourth mic. I just gotta go hook it up. I'm using the fourth channel for something else. That's all.
I don't know if my dad ever listened to records. He is a musician though, so I hope
he is a musician.
He knows about them,
musical
things
chops
like that.
from him for sure.
But and the battle begun.
RX Bandits and the battle begun. Thanks for tuning in. Sit and Spin
Thank
podcast.
You,
Can't even say
Mike.
the name of it. We're doing this is episode 1. We did it. We're here. This is a wrap. It depends on how long I figure out how to edit this, but it shouldn't be that difficult.
That was a third person clapping in the back. That's
third
our
person.
producer.
Yeah.
It's me.
Yeah, it's just my hands, actually.
But no, very cool. Thank you so much.